pin on the right lane for Don Johnson.
A ringing 10. Kokomo Kid had what we call the weak 10 on the right lane before. He had lost the ball, but he caught it all that time and just left a solid wrap. The old saying is when one round object hits another round object, they don't always react the same. That's why you don't get a strike every time you throw it perfect.
This is the man that defeated Cliff McNeely, defeated Marshall Holman, he defeated Mark Roth. That's a spare for Johnson in the 6th frame. And now, leading by 10. And remember, Anthony, who is seated, when he shoots in the 7th, will have a double going for him. 14 to the winner, 8,000 to the loser.
The concentration of Don Johnson. Probably watch his lips move again, once again, reminding himself of what he has to do. There he goes. Keep his arm close to his body.
Leaving the 2 and 5.
Once again, the left lane. Johnson had mastered it for 3 games, defeating all 3 of his opponents. But now in the key final match, leading by 8, he has lost the left lane. The last 3 frames has struggled.
Our thanks go to the PBA and its executive director, Joanna Nora, and to Sam Blanda and the Expressway Lanes here in Gretna for their cooperation. Prize money is furnished by Midas and the PBA. Spare for Don Johnson.
He makes a spare. There was a downfall of his opponents. The combination of the bucket, the 2-5 combination. Earl coming up with a chance to take the lead.
All right, 8 pins separating these 2 professionals in our final match. Bowling for $22,000. All but the 10.
Earl doesn't look like he's into it today, Chris, and I tell you, you can't go to slow pace against Don Johnson. He's having trouble on the right-hand lane now, and he had hit that so well. I guess his timing just might be a little off.
Smooth delivery to cover the 10 pin on the right lane for Earl Anthony. Now 9 pins separating these 2 bowlers.
Earl is second to Mark Roth in the money lanes so far this year, but whether he finishes first or second, he'll take over that lead again.
And for Don Johnson, who has $3,600 earned this year, a victory could bring him up in the top 5. Still talking. Beautiful.
You know, Chris, you get a feeling about some matches, and these 2 players are both experienced, proven winners. They've won 52 PBA titles between them, and I think it's going to go right to the 9th and 10th frame. Nobody's going to put anybody away. It's within a half a mark. Once again, Johnson disturbed, showing his experience. He backs off the approach, nothing to bother his concentration. In the 8th frame, cannot afford any mistakes at all against a man like Earl Anthony.
What do you do now? Start all over?
Yeah, start that mental approach he's doing. He's talking to himself. Now watch, he'll start it all over. Keeps his eyes on his target. Once he sets his eyes, he never moves. Steady head.
Very good. Shows all of us how it should be done with a strike in the 8th. A 9-pin lead for Johnson.
This 9th frame coming up is probably the most important 9th frame that Don Johnson has rolled in the last 2 years. He hasn't won. He can put Earl Anthony really on the ropes by catching a double in the 9th. Strike work.
Also watching here in our audience today, a great pro basketball coach for many, many years, Butch Van Britakoff. Strike working for him as he gets ready to shoot in the 9th frame. Pete Fountain watching there to the right of Earl.
We say why it's such a key 9th frame. It's key for Earl right now because if he does not strike, he will have a lot of trouble winning this match. He can still put the pressure on Don Johnson. Earl strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th to make Johnson get 2 strikes to win.
All right. All this for $22,000. Split 14 to the winner, 8 to the loser. The flashing 10th frame. As you look at our sheet here, 9 pins separating these 2 champions. In other words, right here in the final stages, there's a difference of 6,000.
The first time Earl Anthony has had to take a chance to take the lead in this match. He's trailing by 9. A strike in the 10th will put him 1 pin ahead.
But we all saw that it was a big strike and a 1-pin lead for Earl Anthony.
Situation is this. Earl can really put the pressure on the Kokomo Kid with a strike here. If he doesn't strike, we have a possibility of a tie and a sudden death roll-off. Kokomo not looking. Earl Anthony must concentrate on his target. Once again, the 4-6 that was the downfall of Earl Anthony in the 4th frame has really left him holding the bag right now. He has a possible 214 if he just gets one of them. Now, John Johnson's job is to get up and get 9 spare strike if Earl can convert one of these pins.
Earl carefully checking a score sheet. Covering the 9. His second open frame of this match, and it gives him a 214, and it gives Don Johnson a 2-pin lead.
Don Johnson with a strike will be the 1977 Midas Open champion. If he gets 9 spare strike, he can be the champion. If he gets any less than that, he'll either be the loser or will go into sudden death. He has shown more emotion on that shot than I've ever seen him throw. He was determined, grit his teeth, and he is the new Midas Open champion.
And $14,000 richer. Coming into this match had earned $3,600 thus far this year. Quite a birthday present for his son Jimmy, who was 8 today. Okay, we have a winner. Anthony's bowled a 214. We'll give you Don's final score after this.
Frank Effer back in our studios in New York. We have some more basketball finals for you. Holy Cross, led by Ron Perry's 29 points, beat Boston College 112-92. And out west, Kansas State remains in contention for the Big 8 title. They beat Kansas 86-83, and Notre Dame beat South Carolina 84-66. One other final just in. 7th-ranked Marquette has beaten Manhattan 86-60. And in pro skiing, Switzerland, Joseph Mancober won the giant slalom by 0.02 of a second for his second win on the circuit. Countryman Joseph Odermatt was second, and it should be noted that the tour leader Henri Dubillard of France did not compete in the finals. Today's pro competition taking place in Collingwood, Ontario. Let's go back now to Chris Schenkel.
4 matches won by Don Johnson, 236 in the last to Earl Anthony's 214. Coming all the way from last, as Steve Neff did last week. Congratulations, Kokomo.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay.
My boy's birthday was today. He's 8 years old. I think this is the greatest present I could ever give him. And I would like to say this, that Earl led this thing all week, and he's supposed to win it. But when you beat him, you're supposed to get 2 PBA titles.
I want you to say hello to another Hoosier, Ralph Weiger, president of Midas, who has a check. Ralph?
Thank you, Chris. Don, on behalf of the 900 Midas dealers, we want to congratulate you. We're sorry we couldn't have given you $250,000, but here's $14,000 and a beautiful trophy showing a Midas muffler to keep your car quiet. Thank you much.
Thank you very much. All I can say is Midas makes the best mufflers in the whole world. Okay?
And if you go back northern Indiana, you'll need that muffler, believe me.
Thank you.
Congratulations again, Don.
Thank you very
much. Thank you, Ralph. Once again, the final score in our final match was 236 to 214. Our next stop on the Pro Bowlers Tour is Overland Park, Kansas, and ABC Sports will be bringing you the final rounds of another great PBA tournament, the $75,000 King Louis Open, 1 week from today at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, and 4 Pacific time. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Roone Arledge. Coverage of the Pro Bowlers Tour is produced by Bob Goodrich. Directed by Jim Jeanette. Technical Director, Bob Bernthal. Associate Director, Bob Dekas. Now this is Chris Schenkel saying so long for Nelson Burton Jr. and inviting you to stay tuned for ABC's Wide World of Sports today, which features a special performance by the Soviet Gymnastics